I think it's really stupid, for lack of a better word, on these commissioners' part, to go out and buy $500,000 railroad to nowhere. And we're living in a pipe dream. They think somebody's going to come along and start this railroad back up. I mean, that's why Union Pacific and Southern Pacific before them got rid of it, because it was not making money for them. So now she's saying, well, we're railroad banking. We'll die of global warming before somebody steps up and starts these railroads up. I'll guarantee you that.
You know the perfect place to have a railroad? Right down the middle of I-5.
Yeah. But, so they go out and spend $500,000 on something they're going to have to maintain and not even care about. And they can't even take care of what they got. And not only his gravel road going by his house, but Dawson Road. I don't think there's a rougher road. I used to say Bell Fountain Road, but they finally fixed it. The Dawson Road from Muddy Creek out to 99, like a war zone.
It was that day. It was that way the day they finished paving it last time.
There you go. I mean,
They made it worse when they paved it than it was before.
They use recycled asphalt.
I just don't see this railroad purchase thing. And then, I don't know, I could go on.
If either of you learned 10 years from now, as either county commissioner or not, that they put $50 million into building this railroad out, and your schools were still in moderate repair or disrepair, your roads were still in moderate repair or disrepair, how would you feel? Ann?
Well, foolish.
I'm talking all in costs, real numbers, not funny money, not, we didn't see that coming. 50 million.
Yes, that would be stupid.
It would be. We're on track to be a $50 million hole in the ground for a bike path. When you throw it all in, is that what you want,
Not what I want.
Jerry?
No, I don't. And I already told you I was going to vote on it. And it's one of the things I want to bring up is that was brought up. I can't remember who said it, but there's politicians and there's people that get into office that know what they're doing. And I'm not a politician.
You know, I'd like to make a comment. I think there's been some good points brought up here. And the one I'd like to comment on, and that was improving Bell Fountain Road. And one of the commissioners said, the bank is too hard to shave down. And Jerry, you just said, don't take any value in what she said when she said that, because logically, to fill in along the side of the road, let's take it off the bank, and you may, in a lot of cases, only have to drive a couple miles to dump it. And that's about as cheap a fill as you're going to get. And to go over there and correct, improve on Bell Fountain Road would be not near what you get back from selling the railroad. I can tell you that. So don't bank on what she said that's going to be so expensive to improve on Bell Fountain Road. I don't believe it.
And I have to apologize for my position being that I want the money back, but that came out of the general fund. And unfortunately, the money got spent. The money needs to come back. And I don't know if you know, I know you know because I'm not going to say you don't know. General fund money is gold because most of the money that's spent in the county is there. It has to be spent in certain things. So you can't spend money on roads that unless it came from fuel taxes and registration, all that, but you can spend general fund money on it. But so you don't waste general fund money. That's your reserve. That's that. You know, we can get a $14 million road put in because we have $1 million. That's what general fund money is. And I think that your idea is fantastic, and we we already have advisory committee in place. And this would be a perfect opportunity to sit down with the landowners and say, okay, we do need to relook at this because we don't want you spending money on lawyers, and the county doesn't have it in their budget to spend money on lawyers, I can tell you that right now. And let's come up with a solution, and Bellefont's a good solution for that. I need to see the money come back. I need to see that money goes somewhere where we need it to be. And if economic development can come out of Bellefonte Road being improved, that's a good idea.
I think, again, a strategic plan initiative, rather than this group kind of, take some time and have some engineers, and the idea of using other routes are a great possibility, but coming back with 3 or 4 more current, concepts of how to create and improve safety in this community would help. But I think what this group really needs is some relief from the pressure of what may happen. And if there's some way to back off from, there's a real issue of managing this right away now. I don't know what the plan is to manage that successfully between now and when the decision's made. But it seems like we need to take the pressure off landowners from the sphere of what's going to happen somehow, and then create some room to actually come up with some strategies for something that benefits the whole community down here.
And Ann, I want to bring something up when we talked about it together. If the county has the knowledge and the ability to go out and get federal and state money, let's use that energy to make sure that our sheriff's office have computers in their cars. We're the only law enforcement agency in Oregon that doesn't have computers in their car. Being on the budget committee for Philomath, whatever the city, that police department needed, they got. But it costs a lot of money to radio in a tag number. And I'm just going to throw out there $10. I mean, just you call in your thing, it's $10 to the 911 center. And if they type it in, it's free. And so, for the safety reasons, we have to start looking at taking care of our sheriff's office. They're neglected. And the jail's going to be a big deal. I'm not making a position that we need a new jail or not. We need a solution to the jail. And so I'm saying let's put that time and energy into going out and getting money to solve our problems. And our problems right now are roads and law enforcement. So if I were going to sit down at the table for a budget right now, I made it very clear in the past that we need to go back to an annual budget. We're the only county in Oregon has a biennium budget. We need to concentrate on stop spending money and start figuring out how we can solve our problems. Our problems right now are our sheriff's office is wasting a tremendous amount of money, and they're not very, they're not safe. They're not, because we transport for so far away, we have to have 2 deputies transport. So before, this is just the beginning of transporting every year. We throw $1 million out there. Just $1 million, that's not even all the cost to transport. So we have to look at solutions. The last time I ran, Lynn County had a wing that was open. It has its own control room, laundry room, everything. At the time, we could have got that. And now they're smart enough, they went out and the people supported them. They got a levy, they're opening that back up, they're going to use it. But we could have got that. But I think we could still solve this problem short term, because we need to start thinking about not 2015 to solve the jail problem. We need to look at what's the 10-year plan. And the 10-year plan is to go to the nearest jails and say, okay, Lynn County, we already have a contract with them for 10 beds. So we have somebody that's sentenced to a year or less, and they're sentenced already. 10 beds, 10 of those guys go to Lynn County. That takes care of part of our problems. And then we start looking at what can we do? Can we build a jail over time with modules? Is there state money available for that? Yeah, there is. There's actually a state law that needs to be tweaked. I've already talked to the House that says that if you have a courthouse that's failing, that there's a state law that says that there's funding available. And Union County got that money and then they blow it and they may lose it because they don't have the room to put the courthouse in. But all it takes to make a courthouse is the justice system. So if you didn't build a jail and you built a law enforcement center with the justice center in it, then we could maybe take the courthouse that needs $8 million worth of earthquake upgrades and give it to the or the historical society and say, go out and get $8 million worth of private money. Fix the courthouse and your tourists will come from everywhere. They'll go to your new museum, they'll come and see this, and we could win-win with this thing. But we have to stop thinking that we need the money right now to fix everything. We've got a plan for this stuff, but right now, we've got to get those deputies safe. And
Well, it wouldn't be free to put computers in their cars, because you have to pay the monthly fee to keep them connected to the internet.
But there's a real cost behind true operating procedures for your county. Safety, health. Those are the primaries. A railroad is not one of those primary deals. If you look back and say, over the largest 6 municipalities that have gone bankrupt over the last 12 years, they started a spiral when their pet projects got ahead of them. And then it became climbing interest rates, and then it became other not being able to float their bonds. It's a death spiral when you start, we need to have this. The wants and the needs.
And some would argue that, don't get me wrong, I think the deputies should have computers in their cars. But somebody would consider that a want rather than a need. So
They've been very frank with us when we need them. Half the time they tell us to solve our own problems. Do you know what that means?
So,
I don't think you
They
understand.
don't come.
Yeah.
oh, they don't come. They don't come, the deputies don't come.
Occasionally.
you ask them why, and they'll tell you.
They have no other.
They're very low priority in this county. And ask Polk County right now, because I'm doing some of the sheriff's office work up there because the sheriff's paying their citizens back for being so kind and not giving them the money they need. And so some of the stuff that I shouldn't be doing, I'm doing because that's a code enforcement officer. Because Sheriff Wolf's is saying, you're not gonna give me the money, you're not gonna get the deputies, you're gonna take care of yourself, just like you just said.
Well, don't Benton County, don't they have no sheriff or no?
Citizens.
Citizens sheriff, but I don't.
So you have a sheriff, they always have a
Yeah,
sheriff.
yeah, but they don't have police force or.
And the thing is that I already know that there's money already allocated for the computers. They just haven't done it yet. So I talked to the computer person, said, do you know there's money available to put the computers in? No. I said, well, I'm gonna bring you and I'm gonna bring the sheriff together and we're gonna get this thing done. You know, because there's grants in the sheriff's office, they get grants for everything. If you go out on a call, say you come out here on a call, and you're by yourself and something goes bad, you've got to have every communication device there is. And if that computer, and it may be that I stop somebody and he's a felon out of some other state, and I'm able to run him right then, instead of relying on, I can't get through to 911, it might save his life or her life. That's a tool they should have in every patrol car. And that's modern day technology, and we're not doing it because of projects.
If there was internet service everywhere, I went on a ride along with a deputy out to Alcee, and there was no communication because you couldn't connect to anything, so.
It would still give more communication nonetheless. I mean, whether some places have service or not, there would still be more communication.
Yeah, it would be different. Solve all the problems, but it would help.
So I know that the sheriff's department in the past has given back part of their budget. And so I said, don't give it back, use it. So,
Well, when you're told, wink, wink,
Yeah.
we need 800,000 on your budget, yes, I'll do that. But the sheriff needs to say, I'm the sheriff in town. I'm the highest ranking elected official in this county. And sheriff's office, or I'll go tell the people. That's what the sheriff needs to do.
Politics doesn't allow for that process.
Only during budget time, the only time. And the citizens can change that.
Elect another sheriff.
What was your other issue, Jerry?
With the sheriff's office? No, it was roads.
Roads.
Yeah.
Roads.
We have to find $2 million more a year to get the roads. There's a study, I think it was a 2009 study, that they actually graded all the roads, not graded. They gave them a grading. And the problem is that if they're in top shape, they need to be chip sealed, they need stuff done to them to keep them there. And then as you move down, you can't replace them. They're gone. They're going to be one of your gravel roads. Worse than a gravel road because you're going to have potholes. So the philosophy in this county is to put the money on the worst road with recycled bridges and recycled pavement and everything, and that the new roads are good. Well, it's just the opposite. If we have, say we have 30% of the roads that are still, we could fix them and keep them in top shape, your budget has to be that those stay in top shape, and then you go to the next level and you say, okay, we may need to pave over this road, how many miles we have that, and on down. And then you could do what Polk County did in the future and just say to the citizens, if this is a priority to you, that we're going to have the funding to fix the roads that we let fall apart. That's something that'll never be in the budget. It has to be, Polk County got a levy just to do that with. That's a citizen choice. But you can't keep roads up. Look at how much money ODOT spends on their roads every